That was a riveting sample.
We're live.
We are live.
Sample time. I'm so envious of your altar boy.
That sounds nice. Are you working on a new song?
Shh. Zero contact. This is a saga I learned when I was a child. It's about how the Chosen One will save us all. There once was a scroll that came to be. The name of it was the prophecy. It said to us we were not free. Oh, woe, my bully boys, woe. Soon may the Chosen One come to bring us freedom and hope and fun. One day when the questing is done, we'll take our leave and go. In the place 3 child were bore, each one of 'em was made for war, which will come to save us all. Oh, no one here does know. Soon may the Chosen One come to bring us freedom and hope and fun. One day when the questing is done, we'll take our leave and go. When evil come here for the slaughter, off there went the son and daughter of our trusty king and queen. To exile they did go. Soon may the Chosen One come to bring us freedom and hope and fun. One day when the questing is done, we'll take our leave and go.
Beauty.
It's
There it
pretty
is.
cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very nice.
To celebrate the release. And I guess it came out September 6th, which would have been last Tuesday?
A little while ago.
Last Tuesday.
Last Tuesday.
Celebrate the
That's right.
release of Prophecy Approved Companion by Tevagah, narrated by Annie Ellicott, and supported by Mr. Garrius Furlongus as the Chosen One.
Hey.
Did a beautiful job.
Aye.
And it played many other wonderful characters. And
Dude,
Jeff Hayes.
And
And
I
Jeff
also was in
Hayes.
support as the character you just heard, Mr. Sewer Bard, and a few others. I think there were a
I
few
love
others.
the names of the characters. We also
Aw.
have
Me too.
Tevagah coming on the show in just
Yes.
a little while. We're going to
She's waiting in the wings. She's got a cape
Yes.
over her face like this.
waiting
And she's like, she's up in the rafters. She's looking down on us all.
The Phantom.
I'm
of
not
the
lying. See,
SBTL.
if you could actually see our green room, she's doing it. But
Nice.
yeah, so Annie.
You just can't keep your hands off that altar boy.
Such envy. The most
Oh,
envious.
the tone of
yeah.
this show, when you see the improv game, has taken a dark turn already.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so
It's the name of the prog is the name of the software. It's the name of the software that makes funny noises.
Yeah,
for
guys,
Garrius.
Yes.
don't.
Called altar
we're
boy.
not-
Okay.
Don't
not
be
like that.
disgusting.
Yeah.
Don't be gross, guys.
That's all. That's on all of you out there.
So yeah. Anyway, go buy that. Go buy that audiobook because it's amazing. I've listened to about a third of it so
It is
far. I'm gonna keep
fantastic.
going.
Yeah. It's
That is
it
my
really
favorite
is
sample
funny.
of all time.
I laughed a lot whilst recording it, and
Yeah.
that's always a good sign. But then Gary and Jeff just made it even funnier.
As
They
they
are
They
are
took
wont
something
to
that was
do.
already really great and funny and made it even greater and funnier. That's what happened.
But as well as being funny, it's like there are moments in it where you're like, I was a bit like, oh man, that's hitting me in my feels. So like,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
extremely well written. It's
It
just great.
is,
You should get
yeah.
it.
Go get it. Prophecy Approved
Get
Companion,
it.
The Chosen One by Tevagah. All right, and joining SBTL for the first time in like 7 years, Justin Thomas James. How are you,
Hello.
sir?
He's
Just
finally
I've
done
traveled the
delivering
lands.
peas.
Yeah.
I've
Delivering
delivered many
peas.
Have you-
bees.
are there peas flourishing upon every continent now?
Indeed, yes, there are
Thank
peas.
you,
I have spread
Justin.
the love of peas to every
Yeah,
continent.
I think I think
Peas
it was
and
a,
joy.
it was a
Peas.
worthy
On Earth.
sacrifice for the world
Yes.
It
that
was.
we made,
Yes.
allowing Justin to flower.
I love the idea of
Spread
Justin
his
going,
seed
to spread his
throughout
seed.
the world.
but like getting to place and be like, I bring you the pea, and they're like, yeah, we have those. Like, no, I'm not. No, you don't understand. It's a pea. And you're like, yeah.
Well,
It's just
get rid of
going from
them.
place to place. Pea, dude, we have peas.
But I think I'm doing an amazing service. Thank you very much. It is wonderful to be back. Hello, everybody out there. Say hello in the chat if you haven't already.
Yeah,
It's
who
o-
else
it's
do we
over
have in
there.
chat right now?
If you're watching on Facebook, say hello. If you're watching on YouTube, say hello. If you're watching on Napster,
Napster.
Napster.
No,
If you're not
Justin
watching on
did
Napster,
did not
get on
move
it.
to Europe.
no, I did not. I'm still in Canada, which is basically Europe.
Stop
Basically.
saying Canada because it's just gonna cement
stick.
in my
It's
mind
gonna
as
stick.
reality.
Canadiana.
Canadian. Canadian.
I'm gonna say Canada to like the worst person possible at the worst time.
Oh, you're Justin Trudeau? I love Canada.
Okay,
Oh,
so
boy.
in
I'll
the
be on
audience,
Jeopardy. I'll never
in
be
the
on
audience,
Jeopardy.
we have
What is Canada?
Maureen
Fuck!
Anderson, who has been waiting and waiting and waiting for us.
waiting.
Thank you, Maureen, for your patience. Even though, I mean, we told you when we were starting, you didn't have to wait. And then we have
Yeah, but we
Summer
did wait,
Robbins.
and we did put it off until like 1 millisecond before 8:01 or 7:01, depending on
Maybe.
where you are, to start.
But she was
so
waiting a lot.
That was one long
longer than
minute.
that.
Okay.
Okay, but Summer Robbins, I don't know if I've seen Summer here before. Thank you for coming. Lise Eclair.
Lise.
Lee's.
Lise
Been
Eclair.
a
so nice to
hot
see you.
minute,
Been a
Lee's.
long time. Glad to have you
We
back.
we were Lee's
It's been
came with me on the
years.
P
Oh, that's what it was. I see.
pilgrimage.
P2C.
You know, we need all the audience
pilgrimage.
members we can get, Justin. I mean,
The
we can do it without
pilgrimage.
you, but Jesus.
Pilgrimage.
Gonna take our
Jeez.
audience
We went on a
members.
pilgrimage.
Okay, so I remember now. If you look at the Chinese characters next to that user's name, remember that is how you say Garfield.
Garfield.
That is how
Right.
you spell Garfield in Chinese.
Thank you. Yes.
Oh, Garfield.
Yeah.
Interesting. Today I learned.
Tevagah's in the crowd too. That's confusing. Dragon Duo
Oh, she's so many
5. I don't
places.
think I've seen you here before. They're on Twitch. Thank you for coming. Benjamin Wagner, good to have you back, sir. And that looks
Oh,
like
yeah.
everybody. That looks like everybody. So, anybody else who we totally missed, go ahead and say something in the chat, and we will. Oh, someone named None. Someone named and Char543.
Oh my goodness. And Summer Robbins.
Char.
Hello, Summer.
Char.
Char.
Yeah, exactly. So, what do we have for today? We have a new audio drama script from Mr. Joe DeProf. Oh
Yes.
wait. We have done one episode of it before, right?
We've done a teaser from it.
A
before.
teaser from it for Andromeda.
For
And that was
Andromeda,
that
yes.
was the what was it the SBTL before last? Which I'm sorry
Yes.
guys, it's been like what 6 weeks?
It's been too long.
Damn.
It's been 6
6?
weeks since our
We've
last
missed 3?
SBTL. 2.
We have missed.
Whoa,
Yeah,
we missed
2, and then we
Some-
were at DragonCon.
Oh yeah.
6
Yeah.
weeks.
So sorry about that, guys. We just been super busy. Things have been hectic. We'll never do it to you again.
Don't say that. Don't make promises you can't keep, Jeff.
Never ever again.
It's not like
and,
anybody will be able to prove he said it.
Yeah. that's
Yeah,
It's
not
not
like
like it's
going to
be on the internet forever.
Yeah.
Exactly.
true. Yeah.
Come on.
And yeah, so we have a new episode of that, Andromeda. We have some Carole Baskin's diary entries for
Yes.
Also
for
written by
Annie's
Joe
week.
DeProf.
Yep. Yeah.
Also by Joe
I
DeProf.
cannot take credit for that
Oh, okay.
masterpiece.
Okay.
Sorry.
We'll give you credit for it though. Here, Joe wrote it.
As we
Thanks,
said,
Gary.
We have an interview of the author Tevagah of Prophecy Approved Companion fame, and he will be interviewing her. And then we have a game, one of Gary's games, actually,
Yes, we do.
to close the whole show up. But before
Had
we
enough
do
of you and your
any of
games,
that-
Gary.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that's
Stop
not
it.
true.
Shut up, Justin.
Oh, I guess you're happy to take over games from now on then, Justin?
Justin's japes. Actually, I do want to see Justin's japes.
Justin's James.
Justin's James.
I would really like to see that actually.
Justin's jubilations. Great.
We can do Justin's jubilant japes.
JJJ. That'd be great.
Okay, so before we get started on some Andromeda, we have some news to deliver, everybody.
Nudes?
Just
News? No
Really?
date.
Man, I haven't got my nudes ready.
That'd be way more exciting. than
All
nudes.
right,
Oh,
everybody,
I
we're
forgot to
delivering
submit my
nudes.
nudes.
All right.
Oh,
Oh man!
not
None
again,
of us
Annie.
have our nudes in.
Do you accept live submissions?
Picks up pot of pasta, just like, look at these nudes, man.
It'd be great.
Who wants to deliver the news? I almost said nudes.
I have a piece of news.
You did.
We're all
that I know
delivering the nudes.
is probably not
Joe.
super specific, but I want to jump on it
Yes.
because I appreciate this person tremendously. It's Ahmed's birthday.
Ahmed!
That is
I already forgot. Ahmed, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy
My
birthday,
ukulele.
Ahmed.
I'm pretty sure he turned 35 this year.
Happy birthday,
Oh, yeah.
Ahmed.
35, pretty sure.
Happy birthday, Ahmed. Happy birthday.
Ahmed, it's your birthday.
Happy birthday, Ahmed. Ahmed, it's your birthday. Okay,
All right.
That bit's done.
That,
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
It's not
scratch
really
that off
Ahmed's
the
birthday,
list.
guys.
No, but
It was just a bit.
It was just a
Yeah.
bit.
No, it's true.
Every show
Don't
now.
take
Happy
his birthday
birthday,
from
Ahmed.
him.
it is Ahmed's birthday.
All right. Other
The
news,
rest
though.
of us-
Other news, though.
Okay.
Who wants to do it? Should I keep
You
going?
do it.
I'll just keep going.
Do the
Let's keep
news.
going. Tomorrow, we're releasing "Song of the Depths" by Miss Bonnie Price again,
Ooh.
but it's going to be on our platform.
Re-release.
We're releasing it.
Yes, that's correct. It will
A
be
long re.
$9.99, much cheaper than you would be able to get it on Audible.
Audible.
Way cheaper.
That is
And-
cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it because it needs more attention. It's been out for a while, and I think that people just they need to
missing
experience
out.
this. We
It's
like-
put a ton
There
of
are,
effort
and it's
into
like
Oh,
the
yeah,
whole
yeah.
cast and
The entire
crew.
cast.
It's everybody.
Everybody
Yeah, we're all
worked
there.
on this book.
Well, but
Yeah.
you're the only chick, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay, maybe not everybody worked on it.
Annie's the only
A
chick.
lot of us
but-
did,
but
though.
Gary,
Yeah.
Will, me, Justin. Was that
I
it?
was not involved, hence my
Zach.
backing away.
Yes.
Zach-
Well,
It was a
little
was
bit
just
ago,
before
wasn't it?
your
It was a little
time.
before my time.
It was
It
before your
was
time.
before his time, yes.
Was before
But
mine
there were
too, so
four
don't
men.
worry.
Four men
Four.
in this book.
Yeah.
We all did crazy
Four men and a
voices.
baby. That's
Annie
me.
had them all to herself.
Oh,
We're releasing
boy.
it now because we couldn't find
yeah.
the baby. With
Yeah.
But we found the
find
baby
it.
now.
Uh-oh.
They
We
found
found
me.
the
My
baby.
headphones died.
I was the baby's
At
understudy.
least they stopped working.
You get a call like, Zach, come on in.
As said, it was before your time, so that would make sense
Yes.
that you were the baby's understudy because you were just born
Perfect.
like 2 years ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That book, Song of the Depths, is a Mechazord. I'm remembering like
Yeah.
Megazord fights, like giant robots fighting kaijus. Is it kaiju fights
In Song of the Depths?
in Song of the Depths? Does that happen, or did I just dream that?
Annie?
None of the characters I played did that.
I definitely didn't.
I
I ran a
don't-
restaurant.
Yeah,
I was
we ran a
friends
restaurant.
with.
I was
fought
the
Annie.
hot
The main
Spanish
character-
fish man
had superpowers,
who ran a restaurant.
Yeah.
The
and
main character had superpowers.
she went and like saved cities and things.
And I
Sounds
was
right.
over here.
Well, maybe we should read the synopsis of the book before we start.
We've
We're
already
making
we promise.
wild accusations about its
making,
contents.
yeah, we're just gonna
Song
we're gonna get
of the
sued for
Depths.
saying that this book is something that it's not.
Isn't the main character like a
you
sentient
have to do
cookie?
this. This summary is in first person, Annie. Here we go.
Okay. Here's the synopsis. To the Kresh Empire. Oh no, it's first person. You have to do it.
Where is it?
Yeah.
Hold on.
There's a
On the
link in the
internet.
private
Link in the
chat.
private chat.
Oh, of course.
Private
it's
chat.
always a link in the private chat.
It's
So
a
many links in
smexy.
the private chat.
I'm not gonna finish that.
Smexy.
To the Kresh Empire, I'm just a number. I've spent the past 5 years in isolation and understudy. With my home razed by a Sildrari attack, my mind damaged, and nothing but white walls and a viewing window around me, I dedicated myself to two things: training my body and reading any book they allowed me to have. The Empire wants me to serve, to use the inhuman power the incident stirred within me. Technically, they asked, but it wasn't much of a choice. It never is. Serve, or... I refused to be a mindless slave. My life was taken from me at once. Never again. With the Empire moving forward with their xenophobic plans, they needed someone capable of killing Sildrari, and I was just that. A tool they could use. A tool they thought they could manipulate. Needing me was their first mistake. They gave me leverage. I named my terms. Now, after 5 years, my life can begin.
All right. There it is.
Look at that
Ooh,
Baskin
cool
cover.
that's beautiful.
It is a beautiful cover.
I love
That
that
is
cover.
Great. That's
Yep.
great. So it is.
Yeah. So
Electric
$9.99
lady.
available tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central
Bazinga.
on our platform. So go pick it up, guys, whenever it's ready. All right. Let's see what else is in the news. Nothing came out on Tuesday. Was Tevagah's Chosen One the only release in the last couple weeks?
We also had book 1 of the
Eternal Dominion.
Eternal Dominion, yes.
Oh, that's right.
Narrated by
Yes.
Zach Johnson and Annie Alcott. Right there.
Yes.
The first installment of many.
Many.
Yeah, many already.
Super
How many?
fantastic.
How many's already recorded now?
4
How
books.
many are recorded is 4, and how many are written is 11.
Whoa.
Holy
Yeah.
moly.
So I'm working on book 5 right now.
It's a
Get
big
y'all
series.
started listening to that.
Damn!
It is very large.
Yeah, so it's on Audible now. Eventually, that one is going to be on our platform. Is that right?
Where
That
yes,
I do not know.
I do believe so. There is talks.
There's talks. There's talks of this happening.
Conversation.
There are whispers upon the winds.
Yeah. And so this is by Berndean.
Correct?
Berndean.
And can you
Berndean.
give us a little rundown of what it's
Berndean.
about, Zach?
Sure. So it's about a guy who he begins the story at the age of 35 after his gaming career, his pro gaming career has just fallen apart. Wakes up in his 18-year-old body with all of the knowledge he has, and then basically gets to Edge of Tomorrow the entire game. And so everybody's trying to figure out how he's so insanely min-maxing this RPG. And so right now it's like he starts gathering the attention of all the major guilds in the world. So it's a big reset story. And it's a very intricately detailed RPG as well. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, it's a lot of, it's like a min-max life reset tale about what would you do if you could go back in time. And also some light harem elements because it's fun.
A lot of things
Hell yeah.
differently.
Yes. He does many things differently, and that is one of them.
Like, that's one of
That
the
is-
things he does.
that
in
is
his
Just
morning.
an 18-year-old with a
It's like,
harem.
oh man, but you know,
Yes.
I
Exactly.
gotcha.
Nice. So go pick it up. It's available on Audible
It is.
right this minute, and book
very
2
moment.
will be coming out in 2 weeks.
Are we doing a monthly?
beginning of October?
Yeah, it's a month for
2,
each
3
book.
weeks.
All right, cool. All right, I think is that it? Is that everything?
I think so.
There's in progress stuff. I'm doing
yes.
Trickster's Tale 2.
Oh,
By J. Powell.
Trickster's Tales 2. Chrysalis 2 is in process. Very soon, I think either tonight or tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow I'm going to upload the video of me reading DCC 6 live at DragonCon.
Nice.
Just need to edit that together and put it up. There's not much editing to be done, but I have been bothered about it by people.
It's
So
going to
it's
be
gonna
great.
Yeah. DragonCon, oh man.
Was amazing.
DragonCon was so fun. Yeah.
Fish.
Yeah,
There
Real shark.
right there.
Was that at DragonCon?
That,
That
was,
was in
in
Atlanta.
was
January.
at DragonCon.
That was
There were a group of DragonCon people that went to that, though.
Yep. Went to the
Is this a
aquarium.
panel?
Stayed and
or,
played
like,
Magic. I played my
karaoke?
first game
That's
of
karaoke.
Magic the Gathering.
Yes,
Wow.
you did.
yes,
Oh, man.
Annie
You
actually
played.
played Magic the Gathering.
It was
I
great.
couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it.
There was a lot of
poor
karaoke
fish.
that happened.
That
There was a
looks
lot
like
of
it's the
karaoke.
aquarium, but that's actually medieval times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like the ice skating rink, really.
There's one of
Looks
our
at
engineers
that.
with
Hell yeah.
Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider, yeah.
Oh man, we
There's
have
Jeff before he got his coffee.
Don't talk to me.
Whoa, that's creepy.
Is that
That's not a cosplay.
Cosplay?
That's no. That's a
it's a
that's
costume.
Oh, that's a
It's
mannequin.
a mannequin.
that's a mannequin. Yeah.
Whoa.
okay?
But it
Mannequin?
was a cosplay. A lot of those mannequins, that was like a costume exhibit, but a lot of those costumes were originally DragonCon costumes that like won awards.
Wow.
Some of them are like from movies and stuff, but a lot of them are DragonCon costumes. There's
Holy
us
burgers.
joining hands for Holy Burgers.
Satan
Cult
visited
of
us.
SBT.
Carly Crawford made an appearance.
This is what the rest of the pictures are, just the same two pictures
Yeah.
back and forth.
Specifically.
Oh boy.
But they're all
my
different
God.
pictures.
It's the Meow-DeLorean.
The Meow-DeLorean.
Sexy Kirby. Ah, and there's the sewer bard.
Sewer.
Will
Oh,
return to
Sewer
him.
Bard! Oh,
Look at
you
him
got a little
go.
little sneak
Sneaky peeksy.
We'll
All
talk
right,
more
guys.
about that later.
Yeah. How about we get into some Andromeda now? That's what I think.
Andromeda. Andromeda.
Andromeda.
Andromeda.
Du-du-du-du-du.
Andromeda. Do, 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 do.
Andromeda.
Okay. Ah, shit.
Sneak
Oh, and
peeks.
by the way, everybody check out this amazing new video that we've got. Ahmed is live right now with his keyboard and his stream
Yes.
deck, and you're gonna get to watch. He's also in a bathrobe. You're not gonna see that, but just imagine it.
Unless you leave lots of tips on
Dude,
the Soundbooth
it was
Theater
the finger
platform.
was even overlaid with rainbow lights. That's amazing.
It's because Ahmed's amazing.
It's the magic of
Oh,
Ahmed.
man.
Give me the tips. Give me the tips.
You,
Give me them tips. Give me them
Tips.
I can't wait till I can play with my altar boy.
Just couldn't leave it alone. Why
did they name it that?
You can't leave the altar
You
boys
know
alone,
why
can
they
you?
named it that.
I
can't.
hope
You have to
somebody
supervise them.
doesn't cut up this video when it's live. When it's
Oh God!
and
Somebody
just
will.
put that together.
Getting a call
None
from
of us,
Jeff in
you know,
jail.
none of us better get
Gosh.
really,
I
really
hope
famous and successful
nobody
because
does
that's
that.
what's gonna happen.
10 years ago, you were friends with a guy who said this.
Jeff Hayes is canceled because he said.
I mean, I think
I-
half of
I
us
think-
have made this joke at this point.
Yeah. And I also think that's probably the least of the things that would get me canceled.
oh no.
So this was written by Mr. Joe DeProf. And is there anything that we should know about this before we jump in, or?
So it takes place in the not so distant future, and anybody that has crushing student loan debt like myself can probably empathize with the protagonist.
Okay.
We'll leave the rest up to you to find out.
The distant future, the year 2000.
Deep cut.
Thank you.
Earth, 2255, summer. Drew laid back in the open field behind his parents' dried-up farm. The yellowed and brown grass jabbed into his back and arms at awkward angles that were somewhere between irritating pokes and tickling brushes.
What am I doing out here?
Drew let the scorched Kentucky sky answer. Once upon a time, the skies had been clear and blue. At least, that's what his grandpa had told him. The clouds had been white, and when the sun set, there were stars that stretched out as far as you could see. Now, though? The skies, if you could see them through the wafting, sickly yellow clouds, were a stifled green, a reflection of the irradiated oceans. And the moon? Sure, you could see it, but anything you could see through the smog were beacons from the principalities. Drew had missed his shot at relocating to the moon, and Mars, and Titan. Drew was bad at deadlines. The booming of a transport approaching at high speed made Drew sit straight up and hop to his feet.
What now?
Drew grumbled as he jogged toward the front of the farmhouse. Drew rounded the corner of the old wooden building and brushed strands of his moppy blonde hair out of his face. His brown eyes locked onto the transport craft. It was one of the older frigates, an SRT-1 if memory served. It was a military craft, made evident by the WFS stamped on the dual ion engines, flaps, and cargo door. The durasteel was painted matte black, and other than the stamps, an open shark's mouth and a pair of wide, menacing eyes decorated the cockpit. The large craft thunked down in the driveway, nearly flattening Drew's personal speeder.
Hey, watch it!
Drew shouted up at the craft, knowing full well that whoever was flying it couldn't hear him. Hydraulics hissed as the cargo door lowered and slammed into the gravel. 4 Marines in powered exosuits double-timed it down the ramp and surrounded Drew as their captain, an older man with a silver faded crew cut and piercing yellow eyes, strode down the ramp and came to a stop in front of Drew, looking down at him.
Can I help you, sir?
Drew asked, laying the sarcasm on the sir so thick he thought one of the Marines might get a mop.
You're muted.
Speak up, Captain, you're muted.
Givens, Drew, 2255, graduate ID 9222517.
The captain asked. His voice was rough, unapologetic, like a knife through the air.
That's me, sir.
Drew was a touch more polite this time.
Congratulations, Givens. You've been selected by lottery for the Western Federation of States Expansion Project, Andromeda.
An odd sensation washed over Drew. His heart started to race, and a cold sweat broke out over his forehead and back. In addition to the anxiety was a feeling of immediate relief. No more wondering what he was going to do. No more maintenance to the farm and equipment, but no more independence. No more waking up when he wanted, no more life here on Earth. It wasn't like he had much choice. Selected by lottery was how he landed here, according to the captain. The lottery wasn't a voluntary thing. Any and all students that went through the WFS university system were automatically registered to the lottery system. The only thing more certain than coming up in the lottery for frontline deployment was the pile of debt every student left school with.
When do I ship out?
Right now? You're coming with us, Boot.
Wait, but don't I need to settle my affairs? Isn't there a...
Your WFS liaison will handle those details with you at the base. Load up, Boot.
One of the Marines behind Drew coughed and nudged him with the elbow of their exosuit.
Move it, conscript!
Yes, sir.
The interior of the transport contradicted its exterior. The matte black and classic decals that marked the hull conveyed a reflection of the past, while the hold contained some of the most advanced technology Drew had ever seen. Biopods, the newest generation of striders and exosuits, and some of the finest instruments on the market decorated the interior alongside several technical officers and Marines.
Strap in, Boot. Helmsman, prepare for the jump.
Drew's eyes widened as he fumbled with the safety harness at the wall, struggling to buckle it as his hands shook.
Jump? As in slip space jump? In atmosphere?
The grizzled captain turned to look at him and smirked.
Welcome to the Construction Corps, Givens.
The massive transport shuddered for an instant before inertia pinned Drew back into his harness. He would have shouted, but all he could do was grit his teeth and grip the straps of his harness until he was white-knuckled and his jaw ached. It didn't take long for either of those things to happen. Slip-space jumps were intended to cross distances that would take decades in a number of years instead. Early travel to Mars before slip-space jumps would take about 7 months. A transport, even with the second-generation fusion core, could make the trip in less than 24 hours. Jumping while in the atmosphere was risky for a couple of reasons. Other aircraft and the friction between the craft and the atmosphere itself. Fusion cores were maintained by extensive cooling systems. The friction, and therefore heat generated by moving that fast, not in zero gravity, could cause a fault in the cooling mechanisms. and a meltdown of the most recent fusion cores had the potential to wipe out an entire hemisphere. To Drew's surprise and solace, the transport did not go nova, nor did they become metal and organic paste against another transport. The ship shuddered again as it exited slip space in the starscape between the Earth and the Moon where the WFS Central Space Station hung.
Holy shit.
Drew freed himself from both the wall and the harness that kept him there. The transport docked effortlessly and with a singular clunk in the bay.
Don't worry, Givens.
One of the Marines approached him, a tall, muscled woman with dark, close-cut hair and piercing green eyes said. The patch on her flak vest said Harrison.
Construction Corps transports have the most advanced cooling and shielding systems in the fleet. If the hull could take it, this bad Betty could jump through the core of the planet without a scratch. You know, heat-wise.
Understood, ma'am.
Let's get you set up with your IGA monitor and prepped for cryo.
Yes, ma'am.
Drew nodded and followed the Marine off of the ship and into the station.
Your IGA unit is your lifeline to WFS support. You're likely to be one of the new Strider pilots, and depending on which generation Strider you're operating, there may or may not be an uplink to your IGA. Following so far?
Yes, ma'am. I already have an IGA implant. Is that going to be a problem?
He'd gotten the implant the previous summer, and though it hadn't helped much with his ability to maintain deadlines, it had made enough of a difference to qualify as an improvement.
Must be part of why they picked you then, Boot. Most conscripts get their implants as part of basic, same with the recovery. That'll fast-track you through a lot, and could put you on the fast track to becoming an officer when you graduate.
Harrison paused for a moment, tapping the air in front of her as though using a terminal Drew couldn't see.
Her monitor must be an ocular implant.
Harrison swiped away the invisible screens and rolled her shoulders. Drew made a conscious effort to not stare at her musculature.
It shouldn't be a problem. They'll just push the latest update in, some custom subroutines, nothing too extreme.
I'm not sure if being an officer is something I want.
Drew trailed off. He didn't want to be in charge of anyone or give orders. That wasn't a level of responsibility that he was ready for. Harrison shrugged and looked over her shoulder at him.
Don't knock it till you try it, Givens. The alternative is planting beacons and assembling transforming tech all day in a Strider.
Yep. Yes. That.
Drew's heart raced at the idea.
That's what I want to do.
Harrison stopped mid-step and turned all the way around.
Really? You seem smarter than that.
Harrison looked Drew up and down.
Seem is a funny word, ma'am.
Drew offered Harrison a wry smirk. The muscular Marine turned back around and continued leading Drew down the long corridor toward the lab. Drew followed.
Hamlet. Nice one, Boot. Well, no one can force you into officer's class, but it's your ass out there.
I'm good at machines, ma'am. People are a lot more difficult to figure out.
If the loading bay of the transport had been impressive, the lab was awe-inspiring. Autonomous surgical tables whirred in preparation. Rows of compacted biopods lined the far wall. A mech tech fumbled with an alternator, and a pair of scientists pondered over the latest personal atmospheric shields.
You must be the latest conscript.
One of the mech techs grumbled through a mouthful of cheesy puffs. The rotund tech wore a floral short-sleeved button-down, what had been referred to as a Hawaiian shirt, before the state eroded into the irradiated ocean, had ruddy, tightly curled hair, and a fine collection of orange crumbs on his hands and chest.
Yes. Sir?
Ah, you don't call the text sir. Points for manners, though. My name's Timoth.
He brushed the crumbs on his right hand off on his chest and held it out. Drew shook it.
I'm Drew Givens.
Oh, no shit. I'll be your mech tech. I tell you, the Strider we got lined up for you is a real beaut.
That's enough, McKee. Let the boot alone. We've got to push that update and get you prepped and into cryo ASAP.
What's the rush, ma'am?
You were the last conscript we needed to pick up. So stop asking questions, get your ass in gear, and follow me.
Yes, ma'am.
He squared his shoulders and followed the Marine.
I'll get better at deadlines. Someday.
Beauty.
Well done, everyone.
Yes.
Very nice. Very nice.
Dude,
Love that synth.
And I absolutely love watching Ahmed actually do it.
Yeah.
That's really
That
cool,
was
yeah.
cool.
That's fascinating to watch.
Yeah.
I also want that MIDI keyboard.
Yes, very cool. I feel like we're getting really good at this live performance thing. Like I feel like it's on like a graphic audio level at this point.
It's
Pretty
solid. I was
close.
thinking actually, if we all had our recording programs running while we're doing this, we could record our individual tracks, send it to somebody, put it all together. You know, we've got all the content. Put it
That's
on
a
the
great idea.
platform.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. I think maybe another. If we practice just a little bit more, I think.
Considering
Yeah,
we're
almost.
working with a variety of internet connections and,
Absolutely.
we're kind of coming in, to my ears anyway, like on time as if it were live and we were in person. That's what it sounded
Yep.
like to me anyway.
Yeah.
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 I didn't notice too much of a delay from my end.
No, not really. Not really. I think it's sounding great, guys. So, Joe, how much of this do you have written so far?
So I've got what that just was the prologue effectively, and like chapter 1. I've got 2 or 3 other chapters like immediately after that, and then I've got the teaser that we did over the one before last is still there, kind of floating. I'm punching phone, floating and waiting to be connected by chapters. So I think probably about 2 more chapters, and then that'll be like one solid piece. So I have
Cool.
probably like, if this were to be an episodic thing, I've probably got about 2 more episodes written.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well,
forward
you
to
never
more.
fail to impress.
Oh, yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, it's a lot
your
of fun.
Appreciate it. Very appreciated.
Also, very, very good at Magic the Gathering and very cocky.
I know what things I'm good at, and I know when I'm going to win. So,
Although
one of my
you
favorite
did-
things
you,
is
like-
getting proven wrong.
You totally did not win that time.
I
won?
I
Who
thought
Thank you, Summer. Summer is giving us all kudos.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you, Summer.
I think Annie actually won that game.
Annie, did you win?
I didn't.
No.
Did you
No,
do
it
draft
was,
or like
uh,
pre-made decks?
Was it
You
Sarah?
took
We were
over
using
for
Oh yeah, I took over for Scotty.
Scotty. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's fine. Scotty walked away, and I was like, I mean, I'm already out. The deck's right there. I just move on over, and I'm Scotty now.
That was a great game.
It was a lot of fun.
GG guys.
I haven't read Magic in years.
So what do you think for next SBTL? Are we getting back to Gotta Go?
Yeah, game.
Or
We are.
Okay.
We're gonna have a double feature of God.
Fantastic.
a double feature of Gotta
A
Go
double
next
feature.
time. All right,
Mhm.
cool. I'm looking forward to it. All right, guys. Well, I think it's time to bring Tevagah in here. and
Hell
let
yeah.
Annie take
Let's
over the
do
show for
it.
us.
Bring
She's got- Annie's
in
Annie's
the
got
Tevagah.
Annie's got her like TV
Hello.
interviewer outfit on.
I do.
Yeah, you totally look like you're. This
Yeah,
is,
you even did that intentionally.
Yeah, totally did that. On
All
purpose.
right, we have Tevagah here with us tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm not going to do this voice the whole time because I want to keep viewership up.
Thanks, Annie. I'm here today to say many things in a strange time.
Thank you so much for being here. We have just released Prophecy Approved Companion. We are all quite fond of it, and if you haven't picked it up, please do. This is the author, Tevagah.
Hello.
So I have a few questions for you. Everybody's welcome. You know, if you have some questions in the chat, if you've read the book and you wanna ask a question, I'll keep an eye on that. Also, any of my Soundbooth theater peeps can join in at any point too. But so just to get into this is about game bugs. It's about a buggy game, about game bugs and what could all the potentials. So I guess my first question for you would be like, what is your favorite buggy game?
Oh god. I mean, Skyrim's a classic for a reason, and the Fallout series. They tend to be pretty heavy on the bugs. Oh yeah, okay, share the book.
Oh yeah, share the book. Oh, it's so pretty. Look at it.
This
There
is
it is in its
great now.
physical format.
Yeah. A friend of mine got a bit confused, so she bought a copy of the book and then signed it and gave it to me. So.
She bought a copy and signed it herself and gave it to you.
Yeah.
Is she also an author?
No.
That is really sweet. That's a sweet gift.
I was just like, thanks.
You know, our friend Charles is always asking me to get an autograph for him of Jeff Goldblum, and I thought it'd be really funny if I were ever able to do that, to like have Jeff Goldblum sign my headshot and give it to him. But like,
well, you should sign his headshot and then hand that to him.
Oh, I'll do that. I'll do that.
I feel like he'd go for it. He seems the type.
So, all right, back to the book. What game are you basing some of the things in this book off of specific experiences you've had in games?
Yeah, it's kind of like it's a mishmash. So some references are pretty obvious, like, you know, Cube, the companion's name, like, you know, it's a Portal reference. Others are like much deeper cut. So someone just figured out at the very start where she splits popsicles into two, like that's a reference to Kingdom Hearts 2 in the tutorial. And then like it kind of runs the gauntlet from very, very obvious references to super obscure ones like that.
Cool. So that's so cool. And a lot of that goes over my head because I'm not like a true, like a deep gamer. So I kind of feel like I kind of want somebody to point all the references out to me. Like I always feel like a slight outsider in this crowd, but I'm getting better. You know, I'm slowly working my way up to like feeling like I actually belong. And I
so you're a fake gamer girl, huh?
I'm like a fake gamer girl. I am. That's the truth of it. And like it feels so lame, but I'm getting there. I am getting there. What would you suggest for a fake gamer girl as like good entry, like a good entry game?
Ooh, to RPGs or just games in general?
RPGs.
I mean, Skyrim's a classic for a reason. It's very kind of much more so than maybe anything else in the series. It's like a good intro for like a mainstream audience, which is kind of the reason why it like really kicked off.
Cool. Okay.
I would not recommend Bayonetta.
Okay. Not like, don't have that be like my maiden voyage.
No. So are you familiar with the series?
No.
Okay, so it's about a witch lady who casts magic using her hair, which is also her clothing. So the more magic she casts, the less clothing she has.
Oh, nice.
And you can play it one-handed.
Nice. Thanks for the heads up there. Okay, so sexy, screamy spider lady.
Yes,
one of my favorite characters. Oh, yes. Oh, hi, sweetie. Oh, look, you're so sexy. Look at her big red, her big red mouth.
I think it's supposed to be like a redback spider.
Yes. Okay. I'm sorry. Like I don't even know. Like I'm failing so hard at this.
You don't even know classic Australian spiders. Like,
I don't even know classic Australian. This is like, what am I good for? Okay, so how did you come up with this character? She's so fantastic.
Well, I've mentioned this before, but one of my favorite things to do is watch music videos with the sound turned off.
Okay. That
Because
is
then,
fun.
and then try and describe it to people. So like you're watching it and you're like, okay, so this happens, that happens, like blah 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 blah, and you can just see how weird, especially all the women look when they're being like, when you remove the hook of the music. So I wanted to do that and like remove the hook of actually being attractive, and then sort of have the same behaviors play out. So you can kind of be like, oh, the sexy dance they do
weird,
at the end.
It's weird, yeah.
Oh, that behavior is actually really weird. When it's a
you
spider.
succeeded. Yeah, that was. I mean, so for those of you who haven't read the book, Sexy Screamy Spider Lady is a spider who thinks that she's like a beautiful wood elf, and she is. I don't want to give too much of it away, but she wears sexy clothing and moves around in a sexy way and cannot help but utter sexual entends all the time. Also, she's covered in screaming children's faces, but they're silent. And I missed that little, like, when I did the pre-read, I missed that because I kind of skimmed, I go kind of fast in the pre-read. And so Jeff and I were both super excited about making this like track of like screaming children to like play underneath like every time Sexy Screamy Spider Lady is talking. And then I got to the point where it was like the faces are silently screaming and I was like, oh, Jeff, I have bad news. The screams are silent.
The chittering sound though was like really
thank you.
unsettling.
Yeah, I thought it would add to the like unsexiness.
Yeah. She is definitely the character that makes my housemate the most uncomfortable because as part of the editing process, I read each chapter aloud to him. And so he just has to sit there while I'm just like, but darling, I always come first. And he's just like,
she's great. All the names though are fantastic. Sewer Bard, definitely bad guy. It's great. I love it. I like the way your brain works. And you are a very multifaceted person. You also are a freelance assistant director, and you work on music videos.
Yes.
So that's cool. And I know that we very briefly talked about maybe like making a music video, then everybody was very busy and it hasn't happened. But like, have you intersected your author life with your music video creating life before?
No. So I only started writing prose when COVID happened, so that all media production shut down.
Okay. Oh wow. Just
Especially
that recently.
Yes. So this was my first foray into writing.
Congratulations. You're really good.
I do have a background as a screenwriter though, so
okay. Cool.
But yeah, I was just like, I'm trapped inside. I'm gonna write a book, and then I wrote a trilogy, and then I lost control of my life.
That's amazing. So what's in the future? Like, as far like, are you just hooked on writing now? Are you gonna have to go back and like, are you at a place where you're like, oh, how many hours do I spend doing this thing I did before, and how many can I put into this new thing?
Yeah, currently I'm in like a really weird hybrid where I'm trying to finish book 3, which is the last book in the series. It's a trilogy, and while also film stuff starting to spool up again.
Right.
So it's a lot, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do in the future.
Well, it will be revealed. It will be revealed,
Yes.
but we're very excited about the trilogy. And the mini games section at the end. Are those mini games that are actually being created, or is that just part of the story?
It's just part of the story. It's just like DLC.
Yeah.
But yeah, so originally those were actually kind of like celebrating certain milestones. So when like I got my first 5,000 views. I was like, oh my gosh, I got 5,000 views, guys. I'm gonna like do a poll and see who wants to like go next, and who would you like to see like a point of view chapter from? And then by the time I wrote that, the view count had doubled, and then by the time I wrote the next one, the view count had doubled again, and then I just lost control again.
Wow, that must be such a rush.
It was.
It must be such a just lovely surprise, you know.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that something like so horrific as the pandemic could bring about such a lovely little, you know, detour in your life. All right. So have you had a chance to listen through our version? Okay.
I have listened to the entire thing.
Excellent. So I wanted to ask you, like, what was your favorite scene that you wrote, like, before you listened to the audio version of the book? And then after you listened to the audio version of the book, was it the same scene? Did you enjoy that same scene as much? Or was there another scene that sort of took the prize for you?
Okay, so my favorite little scene was probably in the Fire Temple, where the Chosen One's trying to steal the chair off the Salamander Noble. He's trying to like pick it up and just steal it, and like the little Salamander Noble with like the little wig on is just like hissing at him, because it's just like such a dumb little detail. Or like the little slimes in general with a little tea kettle screaming.
Yes.
I was just like, I love that the stupid little slimes.
I love all the little characters.
And they come back actually in book 2, I think.
Excellent.
Yeah, they start writing notes to each other as they flip between dimensions. So they start like an interspecies friendship.
Aww, interspecies pen pals.
Mm-hmm.
Beauty. So, okay, let's see here.
After listening to it, probably my favorite scene. Oh god, there's so many good ones there. One that definitely made me laugh to the point I had to pause was just like the one in the Witch's Grove where Surbard's kind of like bragging about, oh yeah, you know, the maidens are just so shy that, you know, they never are able to like overcome their shyness for my courting. And then the Chosen One's just like, she's the first person that ever like flirted back, isn't she? And so much like
yeah.
Yes.
They're great. I love those guys. They really did a good job. Well, thank you so much for this interview, and let me make sure that I want to make sure that somebody hasn't asked a question that I'm missing. I have one more important question before it's definitely over, but I want to make sure that everybody has a chance if anybody has a burning question.
My favorite thing in this book so far, I've been listening to it. I'm like a third of the way through. One of my favorite things is how the NPCs. Now I'm still not even sure, like if I guess this is a video game that the Chosen One is playing, whoever's playing it.
Mm-hmm.
But I just love the way that the NPCs accept him. Like accept all the things that he does. One of my favorite parts is when Cube comes back into the room with the royalty, and the Chosen One is taking candles out of the chandelier.
So that's actually based off of how I play Dragon Age, where I would just steal everything, and of course the NPCs would just be like, "Oh, yeah, I'm going to keep talking to you, even though you are standing on a table." And this is fine.
Yeah, and then there's the part where like there's the boss, some kind of boss character. I can't remember exactly who it was.
Spider?
No, but like the Chosen One gets a new sword.
Oh yeah.
and like the boss character is doing his monologue, and he's just swinging his sword,
Yeah.
like testing it.
Incredible.
So,
It's so
yeah,
good.
Yeah.
it just reminds me of I think that's what makes one of the things that makes this book so endearing as a gamer is that we all have those moments. The video games never take me into the experience well enough to stop me from being a total tool
Right.
to everybody,
Right.
and
Yeah.
and just completely dicking around while everyone's trying to exposit the plot.
Right.
And everything. So I'm so glad that you kept that.
Yeah.
in-
Skip.
Yeah, skip. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So just I didn't have a question. I just wanted to compliment.
Yeah, it's an awesome book.
By the way, Dragon Age 3 actually does implement penalties for getting on top of the tables, Gary. So that's the one it was based off, because you lose opinion from people because they had to program that, probably because people kept being dickheads.
I mean, one of my favorite things to do in games, in any game that I can find, is to find a way to like randomly insert either my character or like something that shouldn't be there into any of the cutscenes.
Yep.
So like there's a Remnant from the Ashes, and there's this one boss scene where like two dudes are like coming out of coffins, and they stand there really menacingly. But if you activate the thing and then book it, you can be standing in the middle of them when they come out, and it's just like, yeah, this is my posse, and then they try to murder you, and it's great. But
Yeah, it's my
makes
favorite
for
thing
some
about
great
like
screenshots.
game engine.
Uh-oh.
Beep boop.
I think we've lost you first. There you go. You're
She
back.
beep-booped. Now she's back.
You're back. He's back.
One more time.
I just said that's why I love in-game engine generated cutscenes. I actually did consult
so
with quite a
goofy.
few tech people before doing this, especially one of my friends who kind of has really studied artificial sentience and the future of it. So that was fun. Am I still a robot?
Nope.
No, you're good.
So, okay, I have one more question. What's your cat's name?
Sini.
Sini. What
Yeah.
color is it? Is it a he or a she?
He's a Russian blue, and so that's the name, the Russian name for the shade he is Sini.
Oh, cool.
Oh, very
nice.
cool.
Very beautiful. How old is he?
Like 9.
Oh, have you had him forever?
Yeah.
Oh, I have a kitty, but he's new. He's only 4 months. But he's going to be 9 someday. He's my little baby.
In like 9 years.
And then he will jump and knock over everything.
Yeah, he's doing that. Yeah, he's good at that. Well, thank you so much, Tevagah, for coming on this show. I'm so sorry I made you get up even earlier than early. I made her get up earlier than early because I accidentally said PS.
California time.
So unnecessary.
And Annie's not even in
So-
California.
No.
That's why I'm here in Central Standard. I don't know what those other actor fucking initials mean. I just throw
And
them
it gets
out
difficult
randomly.
with the amount of them.
Mm.
It
MST,
does. I
ET. Ugh.
There are too many people all over, but hey, thank you for being nice about it and not being cranky about it. And
It's
No
okay. We're all
worries.
cranky at Annie for you.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I didn't have
cranky
to do
at myself.
anything.
Yeah.
I just sat there.
Well, hey everybody, get this book. It's
Do it.
great.
Do
You're
now.
really
Oh my
gonna
God.
enjoy
Look
it.
at the
Think we have
cover.
a
It's
clip
beautiful
coming
cover.
up?
As they were
That
walking
is
down
like
the
a
hill
solid
towards
cut.
the metal and rock
Oh!
town,
Let's
Cube
not
remembered
forget to
something with
show the
What?
star of the our favorite bard.
Our favorite sewer bard.
We were gonna like actually show the image of Sewer Bard. We're gonna present him. We got a little tiny taste of him earlier, but weren't we gonna present him?
Oh,
Like
Oh.
yes.
Oh,
So
there he
here's
is.
Sewer
Oh.
Bard. Now that we've
So
talked about him, you all have
As they were
some
walking
more
down the hill
context.
towards the metal and rock town, Cube remembered something
This
that
is
the
art
chosen
by
one had said
Zombie.
in her dream. Oh, sexy screamy spider lady, she started. I have a question. Sexy screamy spider lady swiveled on her abdomen to look at Cube, but before she could answer, a large metal statue that Cube had honestly thought was a scarecrow or something suddenly moved.
Welcome to Construct Crossroads.
It creaked, one arm rhythmically waving back and forth at them. Cube suppressed a shriek. This construct was in much worse shape than Mr. Clockwork. While Mr. Clockwork had been gleaming new, this construct had been clearly standing out in the field for a very long time. It was covered in rust, and it sounded like it had gotten into its voice box, too. The Chosen One stopped directly in front of the greeter.
Well, that's just creepy.
He said, staring directly into the non-scarecrow's face.
Right in the uncanny valley.
Chosen One! Cube hissed. They can hear you! The Chosen One gave her a startled look, then smiled somewhat sheepishly.
Sorry.
He apologized absent-mindedly.
It's just really impressive how they made them look so unsettling. Ugh.
Cube paused. She was aware that, given they were constructs, someone must have made Mr. Clockwork and this not scarecrow. Presumably, there were parental constructs around, but it scarcely seemed fair to blame them for their construct children looking unsettling. And yes, the not scarecrow was a bit unusual looking, but there was nothing particularly bad about their appearance. They just looked like someone had taken a sheet of metal and cut strips out of it, bending and contorting said strips until they formed a twisted facsimile of a humanoid, then haphazardly hammering it all into place. Unconnected cogs whirled inside the construct, occasionally causing golden lights to glow within, and their eyes were metal cords twisted together, that same golden glow where a person's pupils would be. It reminded Cube of how the golden prophecy would glow when the Chosen One was around. It was comforting. She smiled at the not scarecrow, then remembered that it couldn't see her. She frowned.
Are you a brave adventurer come to help us in our time of need?
The not scarecrow continued in a chipper tone. Sewer Bard strummed on his lute and smiled.
Have you not heard of the deeds of our noble patron? He has defeated 2 temples, will overthrow the evil emperor, and restore the rightful rulers of our land.
Cube wasn't entirely sure of the wisdom of loudly announcing their intention of overthrowing the evil emperor to a total stranger, but she was glad that Sewer Bard seemed more cheerful. The not scarecrow, however, ignored Sewer Bard and continued staring at the Chosen One, which honestly was a pretty normal reaction to being presented to the Chosen One. Also, said Savior was in the process of carefully removing the not scarecrow's tattered top hat from him. Sewer Bard's smile faded.
I am his bard.
Sewer Bard continued.
And I owe him my life, no matter what dubious characters he aligns himself with.
Here, he shot a look of full venom towards definitely bad guy.
With their questionable methods of research.
Definitely bad guy gave Sewer Bard back a look equally filled with hatred.
My experiments are masterworks of information.
Definitely bad guy said with a sneer.
They are crimes against decency.
Sewer Bard retaliated hotly. Sewer Bard and Definitely Bad Guy glared at each other in mutual antipathy. The Chosen One watched with keen interest as 2 of his sworn compatriots stared daggers at each other in silent hatred. The tension between the 2 was almost palpable. Cube looked between the 2 in trepidation. This wasn't right. They were all supposed to get along. They'd been doing so well, working together like a well-oiled machine. But now there was this weird energy between the 2 of them. The not scarecrow continued to blankly stare at the Chosen One, ignoring the argument happening in front of it. Cube nearly cringed at the thought of how unheroic they must look, squabbling in front of the town's greeter and/or ambassador. Sexy, screamy spider lady bounced on her legs, making her thorax wobble. She seemed singularly uninterested in the storm brewing before her. Cube cleared her throat unnecessarily, drawing Sexy Screamy Spider Lady's many eyes to her. Cube knew just how to diffuse the tension. So, Sexy Screamy Spider Lady, I had the weirdest dream last night, where the Chosen One wanted to ask you, how do you see yourself? Sexy Screamy Spider Lady blinked, which took a while, given her eye situation. The Chosen One dropped the top hat he'd just taken.
What did you just say?
Hey.
Fantastic!
Fantastico. Incredible. Very good.
I fucking
wait,
love that there is a character called Definitely Bad Guy. That's so
It's incredible.
That's fantastic.
And
So the
especially
player
accent being like,
renames.
yes.
Yeah, the voice. Saturday
listening to
morning
at least-
cartoon villain.
I'm definitely listening to at least another hour of that tonight. I'm hooked.
Look, they shouldn't let the players rename characters. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Bardy McBard face.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, like Final Fantasy. Where Red 13 is now Kitty Boy.
Bill.
Oh. My little cutie boy, he left
right.
me.
Well, that was a fantastic sample that you got,
Indeed it was.
Ahmed. Thank you, Annie, for interviewing Tevagah for us.
Thank you,
Tevagah,
Tevagah, for being
for
here.
joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I think it's time for us to
was a
get on to some
privilege.
Carole Baskin's action.
Oh yeah, that.
Time to get serious for a minute.
Time to
Yeah.
get serious.
Thank
So-
Time to get
Tevagah.
super
dog.
serious.
Super serious.
You guys ready for this?
No.
Thanks again, Tevagah.
Bye,
We're gonna.
Tevagah.
Thank you,
Tevagah. Take care. Go get Prophecy Approved Companion right now.
Do it now.
Get it.
Get it in your Audible box.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Sorry.
Yes. Don't, you're gonna give me
Startled.
a seizure.
All right. So yeah, is that ready to be pulled up, Mr. Ahmed?
Oh yeah, we've got it. I've got it.
Carole
I have it up too.
How did we decide we were gonna do this again?
We
I've got
did.
it pulled
I
up.
don't think.
Is this the cast here? Was that list the cast?
I don't know why I thought that said twerking for a second.
Original broadcast.
Do we have
I'll know
this
what
has been
Jeff's got on
broadcast?
the brain.
First the Altar Boy.
Jeff
now
has got
the
some
Cookie.
twerking on the brain.
8flix.com for your entertainment, convenience, and study.
Okay, I have no idea. Okay, I don't understand this text.
This is
So
PETA.
it's gonna be fun.
Peter.
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 Right.
I will offer myself up as the Tiger King.
All right.
Is he Alan?
You would.
I don't know.
There's Alan and Man in the
Are those
section I
the
think we're doing, and
Is that it?
Carole,
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
I'll be man.
All right. I guess I'll be Alan then.
Oh, is there no Joe?
I don't think so. Yeah, that's his name, Joe. I don't think so, right?
Do we
How
have
far
some
are we going?
intriguing music queued up?
We're
Because
gonna go 2 or 3
intriguing music
pages,
is supposed to play
5
later.
pages. What are we doing?
Intriguing music is supposed to play. Oh wow.
Yes, at 29 seconds in.
We can just play music to
Color me
mustache
intrigued.
to.
I will be a real man. I will be a real man. Maybe after this
You ever see
script, you'll believe me.
Tiger King?
Yeah.
I dated Carole Baskins for 2.5 years.
So, did she do it?
That's the question.
That is the question. I think that's you.
Is it? It doesn't
Yeah.
say it's me.
Says
I
still
didn't
you.
think so. I think
Oh,
it's
it is you.
Okay, I'll do it. But the more that comes out, more I think it's possible.
You ever feel like your life was threatened?
No, I wouldn't have lived with her if I did. When I met her, it was 1.5 years after Dawn disappeared. It was 98, and the dating apps came about, and that's how I met Carole.
You've got mail.
She says, I don't think you know who I am. And if you want to see about me, I'll be in People magazine this week. People wrote this article about her, that maybe she killed her husband and fed him to the animals.
What a good girl.
But I believed in my heart that she didn't kill him. And sparks flew. Life is wonderful. I am in love.
Nope. I think that's
Pretty sure
Carole.
that's Carole.
Oh. Alan has taught me so much. He pulls me in close. He pulls me close. I feel him breathe, hot upon my shivering skin. This magic web around me, weaved as I have become one flesh with him. And why do you think she sought you out?
Hey, man, I'm not chopped liver. Carole was very kind to me, but you talk to my son Todd, he's going to tell you a different story.
Ding ding.
I was coming home from school. I threw my backpack in my room. I gotta go take a piss. I'll be in the bathroom. There's Bobcat. And I'm like, Dion, what the fuck, man?
Carole.
Thank you. I don't know
No,
why.
I think that's you.
Carole did not want me there. She dressed up in all this kitty cat crap, prances around in kitty cat robes, and I was kid. I'm like, what are you doing, lady? And so I just hid my room as much as I could. I was going loud in certain parts of the house, you know. I had these curfews. I could never have friends over, but their biggest rule, I was told very strictly, don't talk about Dawn. Don't talk about it. I don't think Carole necessarily killed her husband. Okay.
I think it's me. I don't think Carole necessarily killed her husband. I think she can point people in the right direction, but she's not going to. She doesn't care about people. She cares about cats.
Dramatic music playing.
Oh, dramatic.
Dun dun. Dynamic dramatic.
Dynamic music. June 1st, 2002.
The dilemma of Dawn's disappearance.
I
think that's
didn't
Carole.
kill Dawn. I have loved him since I was 19, and he taught me everything I know about business.
Just
My opinions of
Jeremy.
Carole. I don't know.
Good.
Okay.
Someone take care of it.
My opinions of Carole, beyond what I've read, what I've seen, the main source, I guess you'd say, is her own diaries.
I post my diary entries every day right now. Because so many people said, oh, she knows more than she's telling. But I tell you everything I ever said. Everything I ever even thought and wrote down. Why, I wouldn't even kill that fly. You're welcome to read through it. It's all out there for everyone to investigate. But they don't want to, because they would rather believe the lie than prove to themselves what the truth is.
Her diary, that she's reading online, that woman is ludicrous. I watched them all last night. I laughed my ass off.
I remember going to elaborate extents to create a mystery storyline, where little clues would be left in places for the kids to find. I really like storylines where you keep thinking you've discovered the plot, only for it to twist and turn and surprise you again.
I had the whole diary up until 97. We just happened to have gotten in the mail today Carole's diary. Don would never spend money on her, and he gave her this cheap wedding ring.
Dawn has been so mean lately that it seems like I'm always crying.
Then he was wanting to leave Carole and go to Costa Rica with his animals.
Don got so mad that he said he wanted a divorce and $1 million to move to Costa Rica. He said he also wanted 47 of the cats!
So, if you go back to the earliest entries, the thing that it reminds me of is just a marriage on fire. You don't see any way this marriage is going to make it.
He's all I've ever known and the only man I've ever loved. I wish there was some way out for me.
The last line says, I have to find a way out. It's crazy. Hey, all you cool cats and kittens, she overshares. What is beyond that, I don't know. But you can begin searching for clues within her words. It's just a puzzle, and you're just trying to piece it together.
Mysterious music playing.
Honey. No, go ahead.
Honey, I'll be leaving. I love you.
Take it, Gary.
Sheriff Cronister, in between being ruled out and being called a person of interest. Where does Carole fall on the list? We'll continue to look at every day. When you have a cold case, you're looking at everyone. There's absolutely enough circumstantial evidence for them to bring her in, at least for questioning. Chad Cronister. What? That's me. I don't know who's saying that about me,
I think
I'm
that's
mad at
maybe
them.
Carole.
Can't be making those comments unless he knows what the heck he's talking about. That's me, Nancy Grace. Take it,
What's
Jeff.
your next move, Sheriff? Trying to figure out exactly who was Don Lewis 23 years ago? What was his life like then? There's been a theory. He had fled the country and just left everyone behind. We know he was dealing with some shady characters down in Costa Rica. Well, you know what? That opens up a Pandora's box.
Mysterious music continues.
I don't know who's talking now.
The sheriff assured us that it's probably not me.
Well, maybe it's the radio dude. The sheriff showed us they have their own suspicions, but they can't share those with us. Please scroll down. They have to just have to keep eliminating things. You know, they all but apologized for how it was handled years and years ago.
Oh, okay. I think this is Carole here.
You know, they all but apologized for how it was handled years and years ago. So they said, we can't do anything about how it was handled back then, but we want to solve it.
The Don Lewis case is the most high-profile missing persons case I've ever dealt with.
Yes.
If there's one thing I've learned in 12 years of doing homicides, when you think you've seen it all, you haven't quite seen it all. The Tiger King phenomena has been somewhat of a double-edged sword. It's been good, because it's got a lot of interest, generated a lot of conversations. The back edge, there's a lot of information out there we wouldn't want out there. As an investigator, I gotta look at things in the contexts of the court law of, not what I can find on some internet and speculate on. Was this me? No.
It's Ripper.
Okay, that's
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Ripper here. I've been looking for Carole. I can't find her. She's not returned my call.
I know
there's a. Go,
I think I'm
go.
Garcia, Detective Garcia.
Yeah, Detective Garcia, my bad.
I know there's a whole lot of subculture of online investigators, but I don't know what their backgrounds are. I don't know what drives them. I don't really make anything of them.
When it comes to the Hillsborough Sheriff's Department, I think it's about time they get some answers for this family.
Intriguing music playing.
When was the last time you saw your dad?
So rude.
Scroll.
Who's this?
Who is it?
And
Who
is
is
this
it?
Todd?
Kid?
June 14th.
June 14th, 1997.
2 months before he went missing. He told me to come at a specific... No, that's you.
Before he went missing, he told me to come at a specific time in the afternoon. He said that Carole would not be there, and that would be best.
It's all right. Pet it. You can pet these. These are bigger ones.
I forget who's Don. I forget who Don is.
You're done.
Yeah, I think you're done.
Don't be scared of him.
I didn't remember the exact conversation, but he got the point across to me that there was trouble. I knew he was making plans to go to Costa Rica.
Do you think he would have left and didn't tell you guys?
No,
No!
but law enforcement was still very divided. Half of them thought he had just flown off to Costa Rica.
Mm-hmm.
And half of them thought... I don't think that's me. I think that's Carole.
No, there might have been something mysterious happen.
The flamboyant entrepreneur left pending business deals, his cats, and a very worried wife behind.
He had made that comment to me, you know? That's not me.
It's going to leave move to Costa Rica, take all the kits.
There we go.
He said that out loud to me one day. He was mad, out of the property.
Do you remember when he said that to you? When the clouded leopard oh.
I think that's still Gary.
When the clouded leopard died. They had a clouded leopard. They were moving from one enclosure to another. They were moving this leopard in a box. But they forgot the box on a path. It was hot.
Fuck.
The leopard died. He suffocated in that box.
God
Don was angry, and I guess they had a fight.
Jesus Christ.
There was a lot of turmoil there, a lot of jealousy, a lot of drama, which I avoided like the plague.
Don's first day back from Costa Rica. He wakes up and calmly tells me that he is going to tear down the caracal pens.
Crackle.
The caracal pens. He said that he would poison all of the cats with antifreeze. I told him to get off the property and not come back. I told him that if he did not go, I would have him arrested.
The whole Costa Rica project, Carole, I don't think was a fan of that. She was not on board with that at all. There was talk of moving the animals down there, and that was something that would certainly cause friction when he came back into town. He talked to me about going down there with him. We're gonna have this great... I think that's someone else.
Great facility.
Yeah. Go, Gary. You're my
Oh.
favorite.
I'm finding it very difficult to read. Yes.
They were gonna have this great facility.
little chain.
Yes, hello. Monocle here.
It was like his Jurassic Park. I'm not going to discuss any other properties that he had in Costa Rica, due to it being an open investigation. This is definitely not Carole, but I don't care. It's getting to be a long bit. Let me
Carole
just
now.
ask you this. Do you know what he was up to? Anything relating to Costa Rica, I'm not going to speak about. There was very little to no regulation of anything in Costa Rica. That's why he had a freaking ocelot, okay? South American cat, for God's sake. I will tell you this. After Tiger King, I got a call from a detective at the sheriff's department, and when you deal with a murder detective, information is a one-way street. From you to them.
Yeah.
You know.
All right. I think we're tired.
I think we've run that
out. We've run its course.
We're done. We're done here.
Done.
Fucking done.
Pink cheetahs, but about 30 pounds. Oh wow.
Clear as mud.
Yeah. I like how they had the whole cast listed at the beginning, and then they just sometimes would tell you who's talking.
Just
Yeah.
figure it out. It's
you
it's
guys-
obvious.
This is who's talking.
Oh yeah, that's Garcia.
Context,
I think.
guys.
Has been.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I don't know who requested that one, but it was pretty fun actually.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah, I
The
like
music was great.
chaos.
Yeah.
great
Yes,
music.
it was very intriguing and dramatic.
Dramatic music. Mysterious at times,
even.
too.
Even dynamic at times.
Even dynamically dramatic.
Kitty boy, kitty boy, kitty boy.
Kitty boy, I'm gonna fuck up this mic. I'm gonna use my claws and teeth and eat all this shit. Give me the mic!
No kitty boy. No kitty
We
boy.
like it. Fuck you, Annie. Let me get... No! Don't you stifle me! No! No!
Sorry, guys. Kitty Boy and I are having a rough patch.
That was amazing.
All right.
Thank you,
So we got one last segment for everybody. We got some games.
Yeah,
by
we're
Gary.
gonna. I think do this in two parts because it could run so long tonight. So we're gonna do two scenes. We're not gonna do the full thing because there are 6 scenes in the full thing.
Okay.
This is kind of a decent improv exercise. I know it's hard because we're doing it over the internet, but like just like that last segment, if you think I'm just gonna run with this character, just go ahead, run with it, and if people can like improv around it. So this is basically I'm gonna read from a script, and when you hear this noise, did you hear that?
Yes.
Okay, that's when the scene begins, and feel free to do whatever y'all feel within the scene. Here we go. We begin our story in a magical forest. The leaves blow and the wind smells of cotton candy. We come to Evergreen Terrace, a jaunty little set of tiny, cute, mid-sized, rodent-sized apartments built into the side of a giant deciduous tree. How ironic. Mr. and Mrs. Squirrel are having tea with their best friends, the woodpeckers, while upstairs, Timmy Squirrel is going at himself with wild abandon. The companions below try to ignore Timmy's journey of self-discovery as he continues to get louder and louder.
Yes, dear. So, I was thinking that today we could go to the walnut tree.
Yes, the walnut tree. It's been a while since I've been there.
Yes, dear. They are very ripe now.
Yes, walnuts are well in season.
Does anyone else hear that?
It's the cuddle.
No,
What do you
didn't hear
mean?
anything.
Nope.
Is that cicadas? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, I think that's
Jimmy?
what it was.
Jimmy, I
cicadas.
think, is going to stay in today. He said he was sick.
Oh, yes, that sounds like pain. That's what I heard.
Right. Yeah,
Yes.
I think
Yes,
he was.
definitely pain.
I'm sorry, I'm a little uncomfortable.
Well,
We'll
yes,
see.
it's
I
not
think
easy to
you're
hear somebody in such obvious pain upstairs.
How could you invite us over on such an evening when someone is clearly in dire straits?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that is an impressive
well,
recovery
you know, Jimmy, our son Jimmy. He doesn't want anyone to have to.
Is your son being stabbed?
Maybe. I might
Possibly.
have to go check on him.
Someone
in 5
should
minutes.
check on him.
Hey, I'm a woodpecker. I
5
can get up there faster. Here, quickly.
I would not. I would not do that.
Don't go. Oh,
Oh,
dear.
there he goes.
Jimmy!
1 second!
Jimmy!
Don't come in!
Jimmy!
He shouldn't have gone up
I poked
there.
a hole through the door, Jimmy. It's okay.
Oh dear.
it's contagious.
Look away! Look away!
As we leave Evergreen Terrace, we come across a group of humans. They are eyeing the tree which, unbeknownst to them, houses all of those tiny, cute little animals having tea and whatnot. These humans are lumberjacks by trade, and earlier during lunch had decided that it was time that said tree should be chopped down. Unfortunately, for one of these humans, all of the others are drunk off their face and have now entirely forgotten why they are there. Our sober champion tries their best to rein the others in while they constantly change the subject.
Hello, hold on. Anyone who completes his shift early gets extra whatnot with his tea.
Did you guys hear like a squealing earlier?
No, I hear nothing. I don't hear nothing.
You
I
just
think-
gotta.
Thing I want to hear is a
maybe-
chainsaw against a tree trunk.
Thighs.
There might be a hot chick in that tree. That's what.
There's a hot chick in the tree. A tree trunk.
I don't
It
know.
Let's whistle at her.
Whoa, wait, what kind of whistle?
Too
What
much
kind of
alcohol,
whistle?
Like a cat call. Like a cat.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
a
like
cat.
Not a cat.
Meow.
There was most
like
certainly
that cartoon, like that cartoon with the wolf.
You gotta,
You know?
yeah.
Cat
Wolf whistle. That's. I
Hey,
think
what
that's
is
where it
this
came
thing? Sorry.
Oh man, I'm so glad you brought
I
that
love
up.
those things.
Oh, dude, they're the best.
Yeah.
They're the
Well,
best.
so wait, why are we here again? Why'd you
we're
bring
gonna
us
get
here?
we're gonna get a hot chick
Buzz.
out of this tree.
Hot
Hot
chick.
chick.
Yes,
So let's
yes.
go ahead and
If
cut
you
it
cut
down.
down the tree, I guarantee you there will be a hot chick inside. Just go cut all of them down, and in
But
one I
then
have
it'll
hidden a
fall
hot chick.
on her.
Guys,
Brought us here to.
who is that that's saying we gotta cut down the tree? Derek, is that you?
Yeah, I think it is.
That's not Derek, is it?
I think
No,
it is.
no, that's Andy. That's Andy, not
It's
Andy.
Steven. He said it's Steven.
No.
Steven?
I don't know a Steven.
Didn't a walnut tree fall on Derek?
Yeah,
time of year.
that
Yes.
happened.
We don't
Derek
talk
did.
It
about
happened
that.
literally 5 minutes ago.
I think
I don't
Derek was like jacking
know.
off in a tree.
That's what
That's
I
not
heard.
what
He
he does.
jacks
I don't
off
think-
in
I
a
That's
don't
why
think
no one
Derek-
wants to talk
Derek's
about
voice
it.
is a couple
Derek-
octaves lower.
Derek was jacking off in a tree.
So
You're so stupid, Derek. You jacking off.
well.
Fucking idiot.
That's why
I guess
he died.
So wait, let me get this straight. So you want me So go up in that tree and start jacking off.
Oh,
No,
jack off,
I
jack
know.
off
No,
down
how
by
about
the
this?
tree,
Okay, how about this?
then cut it down.
See, this is where
This
you
is
need to
my
investigate a smart
jack-off
solution to
tree,
jacking off in the top
Hey,
of the
hey,
tree.
God, there's
hey,
someone
you
in the
cut it
tree
down
already.
I told you, it's a hot
you can
chick
reach
up
the
there.
top easier.
I told you.
Jack off tree is
Let's
this exactly because we
cut
can't.
down-
You can't take someone.
It's whoever
Yeah.
cuts it down
I
first.
tell you guys, I climbed this tree because there was this stupid game where the actual improv prompt was for everyone to talk at once, and it was the stupidest thing in the world.
Oh,
Okay. Well, all right. I
You
think
did a
we
really
still
good
should
job.
cut it down. Though. Like she does sound pretty hot.
But
I can't
I'm
see
really enjoying jilling off now, so just leave
Okay,
me alone.
let's do it.
Chilling off.
Okay, but see, it's gonna.
wait. So that's like extra reason, though,
Before
right?
she finishes, man. There we go. There you go.
Yeah, we gotta finish first.
Here she goes.
Oh dear.
Someone say timber real quick.
Yeah.
Timber.
That's a lot of wood.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Wow.
I think we'll end it there and maybe try to refine it for next time for the next 3 scenes. Because yeah, it
So
is.
that
I
it's
think
not
this
just
is the
everybody
first
yelling at
problem we
once?
ever had doing these.
I really like the yelling all at once. You know,
It was refreshing.
It's really fun.
I did
for,
feel like I was
5
trying to rein in a
seconds.
group.
A group of drunks even. We were just playing to the prompt. That's all.
It's right. I mean, there's.
It is
nothing-
difficult online
There's no
though.
improving on it.
yeah, it's tough.
When have you ever been able to get your voice across to a bunch of
And
drunks?
sounds
that
nice. Are you
is
working
the
on a new song?
story.
And that is the story of how we discovered a more efficient way to jack off in the tops of trees. Cut them down first.
This has been the most
them down.
chaotic
How the
Soundbooth
chosen
Theater
one.
live
Has it?
possibly
Let
to
me
date.
go.
It's been a good
Has
one.
it really?
I want to climb. I want to crawl.
The interview with Tevagah was very orderly and entertaining, I must say.
It was pretty great.
I kind of feel like Gary should have been the jacking off squirrel though, with the altar boy.
I think it's just as high, if not higher.
It's a
The
kid.
real chosen one
I am a cat.
has
You will
arrived.
respect me.
In the place 3 child
Yes.
was for each one of them was made for war.
The cat.
Which will
I
come
think
to
Ahmed's trying to
save
usher us
us
off.
all. No one
Yes.
here does
Stop talking!
Stop talking so we
I
can
cannot believe we're still live.
I can.
Believe it, baby.
And
Enjoy every second of this.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Goodbye.
People can turn us off whenever they want,
They
but
can.
if they're
They're
hearing
not
this,
going to.
they haven't
They're gonna
yet.
watch and
You
watch and
haven't
watch.
turned this off.
They haven't
This is
yet.
the after credits.
proxy if you companion. Do it.
All right, do it.
Welcome to
yeah,
the
do it, coward.
first
I dare you.
Soundbooth Theater